I have a joint appointment between Pacific Northwest National Laboratory and Washington State University. My research actually has been primarily focusing on heterogeneous catalysis and also reaction engineering, basically to innovate materials and also chemical reaction process to convert fossil-based and biomass-based feedstocks into fuels and chemicals. There are two general type processes, right? One is biology process. The second one is a thermochemicals approach. And I'm not a biologist, okay? So that's why I work primarily focused on the thermochemical conversion approach to convert a switchgrass or other liquid cellulose to fuels. Thermochemical approach, I would classify into two different types. One is a direct conversion, another one is indirect conversion. I mean, it's pretty obvious when you do direct conversion, you don't want to rip things apart, right? You want to maintain the structure and start from like liquid cellulose type of feedstocks like a switchgrass all the way to the fuel components or additives, okay? So that's called a direct conversion, and which could include the process, you probably heard the terminology of pyrolysis and hydroliquefaction. Those actually can be classified into direct conversion category. The second category, the second approach is called indirect conversion. Indirect conversion is a process because you don't know how to selectively break molecules apart, so you just break them to the unit part. Basically, you gasify everything. You probably heard the terminology of gasification. That's very popular. That's how we deal with the coal, right? Basically gasify coal, and then you can do whatever you want. But the basic concept is you gasify biomass by using thermal energy. Then you will produce a mixture of CO and hydrogen, which is called syngas. So that's really the building block, because once you get to the mixture of CO and hydrogen, the chemistries are well established, including process are well defined and developed in terms of converting CO and hydrogen to fuels, for example, diesel, gasoline, or jet fuels. Okay? The only challenging with that approach is the process developed for indirect conversion is really suitable for larger scale applications because the capital investment is very high at a small scale. That's what we call economy of scale, which means you really have to get to a certain scale before you can consider those conventional processes. But doesn't mean indirect conversion will not work for biomass. The challenge is you have to innovate the process, make the unit operations less, make the process more intensive, so the overall cost in terms of capital and operational cost will be low. So to answer the question in a short way, there are two types of conversions, right? One is direct, one is indirect. I think probably for two primary reasons. One is it doesn't compete with the food, okay? And also doesn't compete with forest products. And the second reason is switchgrass is pretty efficient in terms of harnessing solar energy, in terms of the yield of producing liquid cellulose from water and the solar energy. Well, definitely will help me because if you look at the process, right, to convert feedstocks to finished products, that process is very complicated. It involves a lot of discipline, right? You can find some groups in the country which are recognized to do biomass conversion, but nobody has all the capabilities, all the tools to actually provide an optimized process to convert feedstock into the fuels. So I certainly see a lot of benefits of working together. Individual will provide the expertise of their strength. Collectively, I think we can advance the technologies more rapidly than working alone. I think it's all about the cost. If there's no breakthroughs in the technologies, the cost will still remain high, Because from customer point of view, majority of people, even though they are environmental and sustainability wise, they are very conscious. But when you get to the actual market, I mean, people in general still like to pay whatever is the cheapest, right? So I think the barrier is really how do we actually collectively lower the cost. And secondly, I personally believe there are niche markets where biofuels can actually find the applications and also find the penetration more quickly. If you're trying to actually replace, for example, transportation fuels, particularly for the passenger cars, I think that's going to be really tough because you also get a competition from batteries, right? And also competitions from fossil-based feedstocks, produced fuels. However, if you look into the sector, for example, aviation, and especially trying to think about I think it's probably better just think about how to gradually penetrate, not looking for the complete replacement. It may actually have a better chance to actually adopt the technology and also products into the market. So I would think of like aviation side is probably the first you will see some penetration of the biofuels. No matter what will happen in the near future with other technologies, at least in the foreseeable future, it's hard for people, including myself, to believe like airplanes will run batteries or will run on nuclear fuels. Okay, so you pretty much have to rely on high energy density liquid hydrocarbon fuels. But regardless how you improve, how much better you can improve the efficiency, how much more reserves you can find in terms of crude oil, they are going to be depleted eventually. So you have to look at alternative ways to replace those fossil-based feedstocks, right, to produce hydrocarbon liquid fuels for the aviation applications. So I think, I mean, even though the price is still higher, but people at least are aware of this, I mean, constraint. I mean, basically there's no alternative. You have to invest now in order to be prepared 30 or 50 years from now.